Today I'll be getting the Platinum Trophy for the most disturbing game I've ever played. A game where we're stranded in the desert, and the only way home is to help a psychotic catman, who sends us to slaughter entire animal families, then throws dance parties to celebrate. With 16 trophies standing between me and freedom, it all starts when my car battery dies in the middle of nowhere, and the nearest town is 50 miles away. Noticing a nearby driveway, it's a restricted area, but I decide to take my chances. Immediately, I spot someone dragging a dead animal up ahead, leaving behind a trail of blood. I follow it all the way to a very run-down looking shack. Since I'm desperate for help, I head inside, where I find the person I saw earlier, who turns out to be some sort of catman, named Mahave. I tell him about my dead battery, and he offers me his spare one, but I have to do some things for him first. Mahave wants me to hunt down and bring back 3 Sevimorphous. Apparently, they look like deer. So grabbing his shotgun, while keeping a close eye on him, as I exit the house, I head over to the first Remy's gun range to test out my shotgun, which unlocks the Remy's range trophy.
3, 2, 1.
Heading out the first gate, I arrive at another little house. This one looking a lot friendlier, I head inside, where I find a family of those deer thingies. They offer to help me with my car troubles. Jane's got a pie in the oven and wants us to eat it first. Jane has lost her knife and needs me to find it. Finding the knife in John Jr.'s room, Mahave peeps through the window, telling me to quickly take them out. Returning to the kitchen, I cut the pie, accidentally getting it all over Jane. Helping her get cleaned up, we sit down to eat the pie. Afterwards, while alone with Jane, she begs me to take her with me. Confessing her love for me, John overhears and gets into a rage, then attacks me. While he wrestles me on the ground, I manage to get my shotgun out and shoot him. Now the hunt has begun for the other two. However, it's not much of a hunt as they are just running around in circles outside. Taking care of everyone, I load them into the wagon and bring them back to Mahave, where he's left me a note telling me how to dispose of the bodies. So chopping up the bodies and dumping them in the basement. I go back inside to find Mahave, who's having a little solo dance party. Mahave doesn't believe me when I say I didn't enjoy killing those things. But before he can give me his next task, the generator runs out. I quickly run outside and smack it until it works again. Going back inside, Mahave is staring at a photo of a dog, worshipping it like it's some kind of god. Now Mahave finally gives me my next task. I need to go through a cornfield to reach a church, where I can hunt down a horned Ovinomorphous. Heading through the second gate, I start trying to navigate my way through this cornfield maze, blasting any chickens I see on the way through. When I stumble upon someone with their legs chopped off, reeling on the ground, and notice a creepy looking scarecrow. Putting the animal out of its misery, I approach the scarecrow. Shooting it does nothing, so I try to slip past. I quickly find the scarecrow again, who only moves when I'm not looking at it. So making sure to keep a close eye on him, I run through the maze for what feels like hours. I reach some weird party hole and unlock the whole trophy. Continuing to avoid the creepy scarecrow, he eventually cuts me off. And when I try to pass, he takes me, dragging my body away. I awaken to see Mahave offering me a hand. Apparently, I've been turned into a scarecrow. Helping me get down, Mahave gives me a quick rundown on what that thing is. Thankfully, Mahave was out here looking for his pet chicken when he found me. Now with a clear path to the church, before I leave, I accidentally shoot Ernest. Unlocking the Mighty Ernest trophy. On my way, I spot a chicken kill tracker, needing to kill all 25 for a trophy, But I'll come back to this later as I spot another animal person who seems lost. Lila and her sister were attacked by the thing in the maze while trying to get medication for their mother, and now her sister is dead and she's lost her glasses. Keeping an eye out for her glasses, I reach the sanctuary. But to reach the church, I need to find a way to drop a bridge. So blowing up a nearby generator, the bridge drops, allowing me to cross. But I can't enter the church as it's locked since the sermon has started. But the leader has left a note for Brother Malcolm, warning him not to go around the back to try and bypass the locks. Snooping around the back myself, I bump into Brother Malcolm, so I shoot him to unlock the Brother Malcolm trophy. Back to finding a way inside the church, I stumble upon a bunch of TVs, each displaying an animal. Using the notes provided to figure out which animal to display on each screen. Once all are correct, the locks to the church have been overridden and I get inside. The leader of this cult wants me to kill everyone so they can all ascend. And since I'm now locked in here, the only way out is to find the key which one of them has swallowed. I start blasting them all with my shotgun. Going through the bodies one by one until I find the key. I then pick up the horned Ovinomorphus that Mahave wanted me to hunt down and bring it with me. As I go back through the cornfields, I bump into Lila again. Thanking me for trying, she hopes to see me again before running into the corn. Back at Mojave's, I dispose of the body. Then go inside to find the creepy cat waiting for me at the dining table. I join him where he shows off the deer heads I brought back. After refusing to eat his meat, he gets triggered and jams it into my mouth, holding it there until I pass out. While I was passed out, apparently Mahave bought me a surprise. So following him, he's got Lila pinned against the wall. He saw us talking and wanted to teach me a lesson about not getting attached to people. Mahave then gives me a choice. I can either let her hang here and suffer, or I can put her out of her misery. While I make up my mind, Mahave gives me a rundown of my next target, Attekus, who apparently seems super nice but is actually incredibly dangerous, warning me to kill him on sight. But first I try to rescue Lila, which doesn't work. So I point my gun at Mahave and try to shoot, which unlocks the gun safety trophy. With no other choice, I put Lila out of her misery. Exiting out the third gate, I enter Attekus' house, finding him sitting on the couch. He does seem super friendly, calling Mahave an oddball and warning me to stay away from him. Offering me a seat, I explain my situation. Attekus claims to have a spare car battery down in his cellar, allowing me to have it, no strings attached. So following Attekus downstairs, he points out the battery in a box on the shelf. But when I go to pick it up, I get surprise attacked by a pigman. After being knocked unconscious yet again, I awaken once more inside of a locked room, with a note on the door telling me there's no escape. Needing to find a way out, I find a mallet submerged in a barrel, and smack down some wooden boards, allowing me to go through a secret passage, where I come back out into the cellar. Spotting the box with the battery on the floor, I go to open it, only to find poo inside, unlocking the False Promises trophy. Trying to leave the cellar, the door is now locked. However, another passage is opened up. But through here is another locked door. Figuring out the combination by reading all the notes that give me little clues. Through this door, the next room is pitch black, since the fuse box is missing a couple fuses. So grabbing them from the two previous rooms, I get the lights back on. Inspecting the room, someone is alive, locked in one of the cages. Then I spot the pigman watching me from his little pen. However, he doesn't seem to come after me. Reading a nearby note, apparently Attekus dropped the cellar key into Pigman's trough, who ate it, so I need to find a way to get the key back from Pigman. Grabbing 2 jars of missing fuel, I realign the pipes that power up a generator to unlock the cages. Grabbing the victim from the cage, I bring them over to the pigman. Dropping the animal into the trough, pigman devours it. But he's still hungry and wants more. So I grab as much meat as I can find and keep feeding the pigman until he eventually does a huge poo. Scooping the key out of the poo, I escape the cellar, but as I'm about to be free, I get cut off by Mahave. He's disappointed that I didn't trust him that Attekus was dangerous, but he allows me to finish the hunt. And not only that, but he wants me to bring back the pigman as well. Getting my shotgun back from Attekus' house, I go back into the cellar, where I firstly take out the pig. Attekus has locked himself away, so blasting a bunch of fuse boxes to unlock the door, and after solving another quick puzzle, I find Attekus with another victim, but I'm too late to help. Attekus tries to justify his actions, but after hearing what he has to say, I take care of business. Once more bringing the bodies back to Mahave's place, I find him having some sort of mental crisis, trying to convince me all of this is just about survival. He gives me the final hunt, a Simimorphus. Going through the final gate, I arrive at a junkyard. Exploring the area, I find a bear trap with a spine in it, and shooting it unlocks the metal teeth trophy. Heading further into the junkyard, I find an old abandoned lab, and next to the lab is a giant red lake. Entering the red lake, a giant snake pops up out of nowhere. Once the snake disappears back into the lake, we unlock the serpent trophy. After searching around, I get jumped by something. Turning around, I see someone wearing a mask. It's another human. Apparently a group of them used to live here in the junkyard before they started getting picked off one by one. The man eventually discovered it was Mahave who was butchering his friends, and he wants my help to take him down. But at the same time, Mahave sneaks in behind him, proceeding to rip the man in half. Mahave gives another little speech as I grab one half of the man's body and return to base. Once back at Mahave's, we reach the point of no return. So before I continue, I decide to clean up a few of the trophies, the first of which is getting max score on all of Remy's shooting ranges. The first at Mahave's house, needing to hit 25 bottles, it takes me around 6 or 7 attempts. The second range is at the deer house, this time needing to shoot 30 bottles. This one was definitely the hardest, but after about 20 attempts, I finally get it. The next 3 are in the cornfield, the sanctuary, and then finally Attekus' house. Needing 35, 40, and 50 bottles, I get all these 3 pretty much first try to unlock the trophies. With the ranges now complete, I need to search through the cornfields to kill all 25 chickens. I swiftly delete 24 of them, but this 25th chicken is seriously elusive. Searching the cornfields for what felt like hours. Finally finding it coming out of the corn, I kill it to unlock the chicken massacre trophy. Now it's time to head back to Mahave. Entering his cellar, I walk down a ginormous stairway, entering a hallway of Mahave's trophies, with little notes on each victim. I find Mahave butchering up more meat, before he gives me one final speech, asking me if it was all worth it. I say it was, just so I don't get on his bad side. He warns me not to go any further into the desert, then allows me to finally grab the car battery. Cautiously making my way back to my car while Mahave follows me. I install the new battery and safely get into my car. With the story complete, I only have one trophy left over. At the very start, when entering Mahave's house, before grabbing the gun, I read a little book on the coffee table that talks about seeing things in the TV static. So turning around, I stare into the TV and watch as a hand slowly reaches out. Mahave questions me, and I unlock the No More TV trophy, which pops the Bookworm Platinum trophy for Cat Named Mojave. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and let me know down in the comments which games you'd like to see me platinum next.